Alright guys, welcome back to Predominance Raids. This is Raiden here, bringing you guys my third war recap. And another win for us, won 81 to 72 against a clan that I'm not going to even try to pronounce, but let's go ahead and take a look. So, if we look here, it was, 23 3 stars to 16, and much higher average destruction on our part. We'll go through and take a look at the bases really quick. They kind of struggled with some of our top Town Hall 10s, and they did 3-star some of our Town Hall 9s, but for the most part was kind of a 2-star clan, even left some Town Hall 8s on the table. We did a pretty good job. We left their top Town Hall 10 only 1-starred, their number 3. They had a lot of really highly developed Town Hall 10s. I think all the way down to number 6 had max 40 heroes. So definitely they were more top heavy than us and had better heroes and typically better overall developed bases at Town Hall 10. We did do a pretty good job with our Town Hall 9. So let's see, we left 1 2-starred, and then everything else was 3-starred. So for the most part, got all the Town Hall 9s and below cleaned. But the first attack that I wanted to look at, I'm actually not going to show any Town Hall 10 attacks this war, just because even the 2-stars we got, they were just kind of right around 55 to 60%. And, we did a good job. There were some tough bases, but nothing out of the ordinary, pretty much standard kind of mass golem 4-jump attacks. But the first Town Hall 9 attack that I wanted to look at was Marius hitting base 10. And this was a really cool attack, kind of a variation of a base that we see a lot, kind of this 4-cornered base, a little bit of a better version, but higher heroes, 21 and 25 heroes, and a lot of lava walls. But comes in here at 9 o'clock with Archer Queen walk, and is just going to let this develop for a bit, and she's going to get quite a bit of value. He does decide to drop 2 hogs in there to not only get the clan castle lured, but also get that archer tower while it was distracted by the archer queen. So definitely very good value there. Kind of standard procedure here for the archer queen walk portion. Poison comes down on that clan castle, and that's just going to slow their attack speed. And I believe he does pop the ability here. Oh, actually, so really interesting there. I don't know if you saw, one of the Clan Castle wizards actually started targeting his healers. Really good job. He actually dropped 1 wizard to take care of it. Was very, very good thinking on the run there, or thinking on the fly. If he had lost those healers, it actually would have been a fail. But starts in with his golem up top, wizards to create the funnel, wall breakers to open up that top compartment, and again, he just wants to get into that Archer Queen area and into that kind of second layer where some of those potential double giant bombs or giant bomb sets could be. And he's getting a lot of value here for the Queen at the bottom, and she's in good shape. Only 1 or 2 point defense can hit her. Does decide to drop a rage and a heal on this kill squad where the Valks are going in the core. And again, he just wants to keep some of those Valks up. And then just starts in, most of the base is already wrecked. They're basically the top left and top section are already cleared. Comes in with his hogs there in that kind of last section of the 4 corners. Doesn't even need a heal, but he drops the 1 heal there. And actually has a few hogs from the backside to flank as well. And we'll speed it up here because basically made it look really easy. Just kind of took 1 section at a time with the Archer Queen walk, and then Valks and Kill Squad in from one side, and then hogs to kind of finish the other side. But they had some pretty good and pretty well developed Town Hall 9s, but we did a really good job, and that was an awesome attack by Marius. The second one that we're going to look at was Timothy's attack on 13. And again, not a true anti-3 base, but not a terrible base either. So starts with some minions there at the bottom at like 7:30 just to create one side of the funnel for free. Drops his golem over here at around 10 o'clock with some wizards behind, and he's going to be really patient. He has to clear a lot of those higher HP storages, and so it was smart. He drops the golem on that side first with the wizards because those are going to take longer to kill. Comes in with his clan castle golem there at around 9 o'clock. Did bring some witches, so it's kind of a GoHoWiWi attack on this one. drops the Archer Queen behind, and then just wants to open up that corner compartment and then drop a jump spell for his golems to converge. So it was nice and patient with everything, was really patient on the king. There's the jump, and you'll see him deploy his king here in a second. Did drop a hog up top there, trying to get a 1-for-1 trade. Got a bit unlucky. The archer tower started to retarget, right as he dropped that hog, so wasn't able to get that 1-for-1. So as that's developing in the middle and he's going in to get that archer queen, I like that he didn't wait. So he's starting his hog deployment. What I liked about this attack, he was so patient with his hogs and his heals. Really did a good job on the surgical portion, waiting for them to converge, really waiting on those heals for him to get a lot of value from it. So drops the first one there as they converge around that barbarian king and wizard tower. And again, was really patient with his hogs. Sometimes I see people do surgical hogs and they try and drop on too many sides at once, and they really are kind of coming in too thin on each side. The key here is waiting for them to meet up and getting a lot of value from those heals. His archer queen was out of the range of the expo, and she was working on a wall for a little bit of a portion of this, but she was also out of harm's way, and she's going to help clean quite a bit. So already has some wizards going there for cleanup, and one of his witches still lived. And then just had just enough hogs to get the job done here. So a little bit dangerous. They were low on health by that wizard tower, but again, great hog deployment. Really good value on his heals. So we'll speed it up here. But kind of a more of an old school attack, kind of a GoHoWiWi with a surgical deployment. But really nice attack by Timothy here. I liked it a lot. Okay, next one we're going to look at was Slaughter's attack on number 15. And this actually, so although it was a little bit of a lower developed base, was a pretty good layout actually. So most of it's Town Hall 8 level defenses, but he does have the max expos. And again, I mean, he had a level 14 queen and full Lego walls with some lavas sprinkled in there. But I loved the idea here. So basically, it was kind of a variation of a max attack. So I think what he was going to do was open this section up. Sorry guys, I'm a little... Let me see here. Okay. So I was going to open this section up with the earthquake, come in with his golems on the side here, and the idea was basically get 2 air defenses, the archer queen, the enemy clan castle troops, and then a little bit of point defense as well as 1 archer tower. And just does a great job with some of his deployment with his loons. Only brought the 2 lava hounds, and if you look, he's only going to have the 2 haste spells for the balloons, but was a really well developed attack with really good loon deployment. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so starts in with the golems, and if you look, that top golem, did come up here by this cannon. Not a problem, because as soon as he kills it and drops the earthquake spell, they are going to converge. He did get his heroes down pretty early, just because he did create a pretty good funnel, and once you open up that earthquake, it really kind of funnels everything in the base nice. There's not a lot of risk for them to go out. Maybe could have waited a little bit longer on the Barbarian King deployment, just because it looks like it did get out ahead of the golems and could have taken... I think it died pretty quickly there. Didn't kind of got the brunt of the dragon, but still has the golems up. 1 air defense down, and oh no, I'm sorry, got the 2 air defenses down, and then just starts in here with his loons. So didn't need a lava hound on that first side. He's just going to drop a few kind of 2-for-2 trades. First lava hound is in, and he's going with clockwise deployment. Drops the haste spell in there to get it on the expo and the air defense. And then same thing, he's going to use that second haste spell to propel to the second air defense. And then does a nice job here holding on to 2 loons for the back end so that all his big group of loons doesn't clump up and get near those that Tesla and the wizard tower. So he does a really good job there with the deployment. If you look, his archer queen's still up, and still has a lava hound that hasn't popped yet. So actually a bit of overkill. Could have actually used a few more pups on this attack. But at this point, really just smashed that base, made it look very easy. And Slaughter is definitely one of our better, air composition guys, whether it's, max attacks or just traditional GoLaLoons. Definitely one of our better Town Hall 9s and getting better with every war and attack, it seems like. So really, really nice attacks, too. I liked it a lot, man. Okay, we're going to look at two more. Okay, we're going to look at Zeta's attack on 19. So this type of Town Hall 8 base is pretty popular, where you've got basically this huge moat area, and basically this area up at the top is the only threat of giant bombs or double giant bombs other than in the core. So typically you've got a risk of a giant bomb here, here. You've got a risk of some type of double next to a Tesla here. And then you could have something like a Tesla and then a double giant bomb here. There's different variations of it. It is one that we see quite a bit. What Zeta does is basically the perfect attack for this base, which is a Town Hall 8 GoHo, where if you can get your golems into this compartment, and then they can just kind of wander this moat area, you're just going to get so much value from them in terms of not only tanking but eliminating a lot of those double giant bomb sets. So I thought this was the perfect attack for the base, just a really good breakdown. So let's see, he starts out here, just one hog for the clan castle lure. I've seen sometimes people do it with no lure. I think the lure on this one was the right idea. They gave him a free anchor point up top, and sometimes if you don't lure, the wizards could kind of stray on the sides, and it would take them a little bit to get in, and the clan castle was deeper. So drops a 2-1, so it's a GoHoWiWi for Town Hall 8. He did bring some witches in the clan castle. And does a good job there waiting for the mortar splash, then drops his wall breakers, times it well, created a nice funnel for the wizard, so everything's going to go straight in. Rages that kill squad to be able to propel them through the base quicker. And you'll see one giant bomb goes off. You see two Teslas pop, and then I believe another giant bomb's going to pop there. And then, already starts in with his hogs over at 3 o'clock. Does a good job there on the first heal. He's still got a golem up and a barbarian king tanking, so he's still got quite a bit of defenses that are triggering and targeting those. Second heal was nice. Got some value from it on the cannon and the mortar. And then he's just going to wait for those hogs to kind of group up over there on the left side point defenses and drop that third heal. Oh, I'm sorry. It was 1 rage, 2 heals. So the key to this one was the golem staying up. Really just allowed him quite a bit of tanking. So basically these golems are the MVPs of the raid. They are not only distracting the barbarian king, so the wizard and the witch can take that barbarian king out, but it's also tanking the cannon. So he just got so much value from the golems. It really allowed all his cleanup troops to be able to get in there and take out the remaining defenses. I think there was 1 or 2 left. And, even though the hogs were dead. So we'll speed it up here, but plenty of cleanup troops. Anytime as a Town Hall 8 you're bringing witches and they live to the end, you just got so much value from them. And it was probably the right decision there. If you can protect that kill squad with golems or with hogs from the same direction. And then the last building to go down was the Town Hall. And really good 3-star there from Zeta. Okay, we're going to look at one more, and it was Vikingarmy on base 22. So this was a cool attack. A few things that we'll look at, but so it was just a Town Hall 8 Surgical Hog attack. And we'll speed it up here to see. Okay, so drops 1 hog there at 1:30, pulls the clan castle. Brings it down to 6 o'clock. And just as a nice, barb wizard kill. So, barb for distraction. Could have dropped a few more barbs just to keep it distracted. I'm sorry, guys, I can't talk tonight. It's been a long day. So drops the Barbarian King just to be able to distract as well so we can get that dragon down. And then starts in with his surgical deployment. So kind of goes heavy on the first side. Reinforces here on the second side. Now, okay, want to pause it really quick. This group of hogs that he drops over here at 2 o'clock was a really nice touch. Obviously, there's a potential double giant bomb set here. So if there had been, and it turns out there was not, then this small group of hogs, I think it was 2 or 3, would have taken out this defense and then basically sacrificed themselves for the double giant bomb. But it would have saved all his big, really big group at the bottom here from ever having to go there and potentially hit it. So it turns out there wasn't, but really good idea still. So it does a good job dropping that first heal where they're going to go. Does a nice job there dropping a giant up at the top to tank several point defense. And just continues to reinforce with his hogs and drop heals where he needs them. Most of the defenses are already gone. He's still got 1 heal in the bag and probably 13 or 14 hogs. And then, just last heal over by the final point defense. It does have a skeleton trap pop, but the hogs are in a heal, so they're really at no risk at this point. One thing I do like to do sometimes is if your hogs are going to finish around the Barbarian King, and this is what I'm talking about, actually dropping that poison not only on the skeletons but on the Barbarian King to slow his attack speed so that he's not going to get as many shots on your hogs. I've seen quite a few raids where there's still 6 or 7 hogs, but they're hitting some other defense or building before they get to the Barbarian King, and even though all the defenses are down, he ends up finishing the hogs up. So sometimes keeping that poison in the bag and actually just dropping it on him just so that he can't pick off as many hogs actually ends up being smart. But, he's got plenty of hogs left and cleanup troops. So really nice attack, VA. Just crushing a pretty good Town Hall 8 layout there. So I did think this war was going to be a little bit closer because, again, a lot of their Town Hall 10s were very well developed and a lot of their Town Hall 9s had pretty good layouts. But another win for us. So, again, starting just to build a new streak and going to post hopefully some new series today or tomorrow up on the channel as well. Thank you guys again. I am going to go ahead and just a quick shout out to a former member of ours, Chisholm, who actually is over at In the Light. And I'm just going to drop a link down to his channel. He actually started doing videos for our clan a while back and left and is still doing a great job with videos over for In the Light. But if it wasn't for him, we probably wouldn't have as much recognition that we do. So for those of you that haven't checked out his channel, please do. And again, I'll drop a link in the description. Raiden signing out, guys, and we'll see you guys for the next war recap.